Starting out, the first thing that we want to do is open up our programs that we're going to be using. If we open up our Rivers Breeze folder, we see we've got GIMP, which is the photo editing software that we're going to use. We have GuardDraw, which is the software that we will use to create the badges. And Rivers Breeze is the link to the Carry software where we'll put in the names that we are using at this time. Let's go ahead and open up GIMP. We'll wait until that loads. We'll go ahead and get it set. Then we'll open up GuardDraw. We usually get an error because we don't have it linked properly. Go ahead and click through the error. Then we'll go ahead and open within GuardDraw, and we want to find our owner template. Go ahead and click open. I usually adjust the internal dialog box just like that. Now GuardDraw is ready. Then let's go ahead and open up Rivers Breeze. This will be the Carry software. Login is capital K, lowercase ERI. Password is the same, capital K, lowercase ERI. We can click through the network update. We're not actually going to make updates, we're just using it to house the user data within the database, which is under this key up here at the top, set up users. If we go ahead and sort by card number, we click the card number column, click sort. We scroll down to where our newest batch of cards is. I already know that. It should be right in here. Now let's minimize the Carry software. We've got it ready. Next, we want to open up our email. We'll open up the first person that we want to create today. Pictures can come in all different sizes within the email. Sometimes they're small. In this instance, the picture is very large. If you scroll down to the bottom right of the picture, you can download it. It'll download it into the downloads folder. Just going to expand that out just a hair. Now in the background, if we click once, then not on the picture, but outside of the picture, then scroll back up. This is where we'll have our name and other information from Renz. Next, we want to open up that picture into GIMP. So if we go to downloads, this is the picture that we want. What I usually do first is name it with the person's name. If the picture is selected and you click once more on the name, it should highlight to where you can change it. So as you can see, I matched it up to the name that they sent us. Now I'm going to go ahead, since we've got the little GIMP icon next to the name, that means it's going to automatically open in GIMP. So I'm going to go ahead and just double click. Otherwise, you can open GIMP like this, and then you can click and drag the picture into GIMP, and it'll open that way as well. So GIMP has given us a dialog box to answer. Sometimes this will pop up. I usually click yes to rotate. It also asks us about imaging. I usually just click convert. Then the image will open for us. I go up to the somewhat square looking, if you hover over it, it says crop tool. That's what we want. Click the crop. Then you click from the top left to the bottom right, and we just want from just below the shoulders to a little above the head, and we want to center the face in the box. And I clicked and dragged from the top left to the bottom right, and once you get the box lined up, then you can let go. Click the enter button on your keyboard. It will approve the crop. Next thing we want to do, go up to colors, go to brightness and contrast. We want to take the brightness down approximately, I usually do about 25, and then I take the contrast down about 3. It varies. I mean, you can adjust that a little higher, lower for each of those based on your preference. You just have to kind of go by, if the picture is already really bright, you might want to go a little bit lower on the brightness. If the picture is already pretty dark, you'd go a little higher on the negative. You know, you'd go like -20, something like that. A good average is -25 that I found. Once you get those set, you click OK. And that's it for that picture. We are cropped and the coloring has been adjusted for brightness. Next, we click on File at the top left. We want to click on Overwrite Candace Allen. That will update, and we click on Export. That will update the picture that's in our Downloads folder. So as you can see, now it's just showing the cropped picture. Actually, if I go up here, go to large icons, you can see now the picture is proper. The next thing we want to do, we can put GIMP down at the bottom. We can put our, no, let's keep our email up because we need that information in the background. We need the address. We want to move Candace Allen into our backup drive. So if we right click on Candace and go cut, go to Google Drive, go to Carry Systems, down to Rents, down to Rivers Breeze, Rivers Breeze Pics, and then we right click. See how those little blues highlights popped up for those pictures? We don't want to click if those are popping up. We want to click in between those. We right click and go to paste, and that will drop Candace's picture into our backed up file of pictures. Next thing we want to do, open up Guard Draw. Most of the format and layout is already set, so all we need to do is change the picture, the name, and the address. First, let's click on the picture. You double click. Properties box will pull up. We click on Load Image, and then we have to go find the picture of Candace. If we click up one level, that usually brings us to the Rivers Breeze folder. Click on Pics. Sometimes you can scroll down and go find who you're looking for. Other times you can, in the file name box, you can type in the person's name, and as you can see, it pulled up Candace Allen's name. Click on her name, click Open, confirm it's the right image, which it is. On the keyboard, you can use the left and right arrows to adjust the picture up and down or left and right. I usually try to make the picture as centered as possible based on the edges of the name box. That looks pretty good right there. Next, double click on the name. Change it to the name that we want. Click OK. Then double click on the address. Do the same. Sometimes if the wording is a little long, it can show up. When we go to print preview, it won't show up properly. Let's check it out. No, it did. So sometimes if this wording in the box is too long, it will try to double over itself and go down to the next line, and then when you preview it, it's not going to show up right. Since this is very close on the edges of the box, I'm going to drop the font down just a hair. So if I click close my print preview, the box is already highlighted. If I go up here to font, number, and drop this down, I'm going to drop it down to 14. The name looks pretty good. That can be a little bit bigger. I think the name is still 16, yeah. Okay, so we're good there. You can click the save button, just kind of saves what you got. Go to File, Print Preview, double check everything, make sure the picture's centered, name looks good, it's spelled properly, address is good, we're ready to print. Click on Print. It should automatically come selected to the Magicard photo printer. If not, select the appropriate one, then click OK. Once the card is printed out, we want to go ahead and put that information into our carry database. So we pull up the carry, we check the back of the card to make sure that the card number matches our next spot in line. I did, it's 519. We go ahead and fill in the appropriate fields. Far left is last name. Next to the right is first name. And we always use the middle name for the address. Go ahead and click Save. When your card's all done, pull it out of the printer. Double check that everything looks good, the picture is nice. Print it on the right side. Next thing we want to do is take our card, slide it into, it's a little difficult to do with one hand, slide it into our stamper. And what that's going to do is put an imprint and a punch through the top for if somebody wants a lanyard. So we line it up along this stopper on the right edge and the stopper in the back, and then we pull it down. And we're good to go. After we're done putting the punch hole into the card, we want to add the card to our invoice list. One card. Put the name. If it is a brand new full card, we charge $12.50. If it is a overlay, we charge $5.